Thank you for joining us live with the Miami Community News. And our guest today is the recycling lady of the century right here, Jeanmarie Massa from Miami-Dade Solid Waste Recycling Division.
Correct. Yes.
And you are the recycling manager.
I am.
So, folks, if you have any questions about recycling,
Right.
you call her.
Yeah,
All right.
I got it.
All right. So let's talk about what things we recycle and what things do we typically mistake for recyclables.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so what do we recycle? Okay, bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, and cartons. And by cartons, we mean milk and juice cartons. That's it. It's really, really easy. And my husband says, well, are you sure? Because what about this? I said, is it a bottle? No. Okay, bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, cartons. That's it. So we try to make it as simple as possible. That's the simple 5, but we still get things that people are like, I don't know. They're unclear on the concept. And crazy things like palm fronds and
palm fronds that go into they've been putting it into the wrong colored container.
Right. They're putting it in the blue cart. And
but even going to the green cart.
Yes. They're right now, that is not a recyclable item that we can take to make anything out of. And we're trying to make it as simple as possible. And bottles are bottles. I don't know what to tell you. If it has a narrow neck, it's a bottle. Cans, here, I brought you a can. That's a can. Anything like that. It could be like a soup can, an aluminum can. Perfect for recycling. Paper, all kinds of paper. Got the Sunday Funnies, magazines. Do you remember these? Remember when we used to get these?
My aunt, God bless her, used to sit on a phone book because she was so short in a car for years.
I mean, every kid that comes to the house to eat, go get a couple of phone books. So yes. And even cereal boxes, that's paper. So all that is great for recycling.
So how, more or less, how long has real recycling been going on to where it's mattered?
Okay.
How long has that been?
Okay. Like 1990 something, we started the program with 2 little bins. You remember, you had them at your house, 2 little 12-gallon open bins, and you put your paper in one and your aluminum cans and bottles in the other. And the driver would drive up, have to get out of the truck. And it was really kind of interesting because the side of the truck had a trough and it had a divider in it. And the paper went in one side and the aluminum, glass, steel, plastic went in this side. And then it would raise up and go into the truck. And there was a divider. So when the truck emptied, this is really, okay. The paper was toward the front of the truck because it was heavy. And the other side, the other materials were in the back. So they would empty first. And then the truck would pull to another location, empty the paper. But in 2008, we went easy, super easy. So we put everything together commingled. So all you put your aluminum, glass, paper, steel, plastic, everything in one.
So how does a person that's really not recycling, how do they get into that space in their head where they have to make a conscious decision?
Yeah.
So what are some steps they can do to make it a little bit easier for them to be able to recycle?
Maybe next to your garbage can or somewhere in your kitchen, have another container, a small container. And just, when you empty out, when you finish with your paper, you put it in, or when you empty a bottle, you put it in there.
It really has to start there before you go out.
Right.
And that can get everybody into that space.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only thing. That's what I do in my house. So, and then just when it gets full, you bring it, pour it into the blue cart. And of course, when your garbage is full, you put it into the green cart.
So we know that there've been less paper, more boxes. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, 15 years ago, you could count the number of boxes you get. Now we have a contest. How many boxes are we going to get today? What's in it?
What's in it? Oh, I know. Our house too. And you need to flatten these boxes. And, if you have kids, that could be helpful. They could flatten them for you. That's a really good kid project. And then, but make sure everything fits in the cart with the lid closed. Because one of the things we found with boxes, that's really a problem. They're these big boxes and people just stack them up on top of the cart, so the lid's closed, which is good, but then they've got them all stacked up. So of course, when the truck goes to empty these carts, it goes to pick up the cart and everything on top falls on the ground.
And with the boxes, when they're in there, the top has to be closed. All right. so that it doesn't rain on them.
Right.
If they get wet.
Wet cardboard is not nearly, it's not recyclable anymore, especially if it's really, really wet.
And no used pizza boxes.
No used pizza boxes.
Right.
My pizza boxes were
So
over there.
let's talk about with some of the big online companies. If you're not ordering something that's in a box, they have it in this bag or envelope.
Yeah.
And we get more and more in the smaller stuff, and it's pretty strong. It's durable. It's not going to get wet inside. You got to get a scissors to open it. Is that stuff going to be recyclable down the road?
No. Down the road. That is a great question that I do not know the answer to. I can only tell you for right now, no, that is not recyclable, because the plastic that we recycle are bottles. And that's all I can say. It's the bottles. At some point, who knows? But right now, no. And please don't put it in, because it's a contaminant.
Yes. And then also, if people want to find out more information, they can go to miamidade.gov/recycling.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a question, they can call 311, and maybe they'll answer it or direct them to the right people.
Right.
And you have videos on your site where people can look at all this.
We do. It's really cool. You can go to miamidade.gov/solid waste. And if you scroll down, we have all these videos. We have a video where you can take a tour, 2-part tour of the materials recovery facility, which we call the MRF. And step by step, you see the stuff dumping on the tipping floor and how it goes up the conveyor and all of the steps to the recycling.
And you have machines and people.
Oh, yes.
They go through and they take out the non-recyclables.
Yeah, which is really a problem. Yeah.
And so lots of times they're magnets or things that it
so
seeks it out.
It does. So the easy part is the steel, because it's made out of ferrous, and a magnet pulls it right out and it goes into one container. The aluminum, I'm looking because I didn't bring an aluminum can, but it's there's something called an eddy current separator, which is so cool, because instead of like a magnet where it attracts the ferrous, it repels the aluminum. So you hear a little ding and it goes right off the conveyor into a container.
So I see you have a coat hanger over here.
Oh yeah, I got a couple.
So when I think about, you go to the dry cleaner, and some are the inexpensive hangers, and others you can see it costs a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as whether I send a lot back to the dry cleaner,
right,
if they actually reuse them.
Yeah. Right? I don't know.
And I haven't asked them, but I feel better when I do it.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while I go, all right, what should I do with them? Because I'm not in the mood to stack them up again.
Right.
What do people do with these?
Okay. This is garbage. Okay. So yeah, there's nothing. And even if it wasn't broken, it can't go in the recycling cart. This is not recyclable either. The metal ones are not recyclable in our program. So
you see so many things that we use, right? Maybe one day that could at some point perhaps have another lifespan, right? So the recyclable people and the manufacturers of the products, maybe at some point they're already meeting, and it's like, what do we have to do so we can help in the bigger picture,
right?
Instead of burning it. By the way, so on the recycled stuff, you send it overseas or to somebody who recycles, makes
it
other
into
stuff.
A new product. Yeah, and in fact, Waste Management Inc., the company, not the department, is the company that receives our recyclable materials. And I get this question all the time about the plastics. Oh, well, the plastics go overseas. All of their plastics that they recycle have companies that buy them that are within the United States. So they do not go overseas.
And on the Coke cans, if you will, generically speaking, those get recycled pretty quickly.
They do. Something like 6 weeks or something like that. From the time you put it in your cart, it goes to the MRF, it gets separated, it goes out, and it gets melted down, made into a new can.
And I know we discussed this before, 5 years ago, the bottles of water were made of tough plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like, I'm surprised it's standing up, right? But it does manage to balance out there. Yeah. And we all got used to it.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
And that stuff gets recycled like crazy.
Oh, yeah. And I looked up because we were talking the last time, and so most of the plastic bottles become bottles again, because they're just the makeup is perfect for it. But plastic, it also becomes carpet, and carpet backing is a use of recycled plastic.
So let's talk about in the water bottles, the single-use ones. Years ago, I don't know how many it was, we would see these shows where they would show they were digging out stuff. There'd be bottles that would be 30, 40, 50 years old and nothing happened to them.
Right.
So it's like, well, if you're going to throw them out, take the cap off. So at least there'll be dirt inside. It might expedite it. But those for the most part those don't go into landfills. They get recycled.
Yeah, because they're valuable. I mean, it is a value, but it is true. I read about old landfills that they've excavated, and the bottles, like brown bottles, but the square, not even round, that are found way at the bottom. Very, very interesting.
So there's a lot of things that don't get recycled. Can we talk about that for a couple of minutes?
Sure.
So people, they come and the county comes and picks up out of the green cans. They take it over to in Doral. There's a plant over there. Tell us about what happens.
That's our waste to energy facility, and it is really kind of cool. The material goes there. It goes into a pit. They dump it. It goes into a pit. It gets picked up, and it goes into a boiler, which burns it. The materials burn, and it produces steam, and the steam actually generates electricity, and the electricity runs the plant. And I got to tell you, we have an electric truck.
Truck coming up soon.
Electric truck. You know what? We had to cancel our start date, but it's coming up. I'll let you know, I promise, because it's going to be really neat, because that electric truck will go on the route, pick up garbage. It's not going on the route yet. Go on the route, pick up garbage, gets full, goes to the waste to energy plant, dumps the garbage so that it gets burned to produce steam, which generates electricity, which will power the truck, because they'll plug it in there.
Okay. So Back to the Future.
Yes.
Is that 30 years ago that show came out? And they were just dumping the garbage in?
Right into the DeLorean or whatever.
It wasn't far off.
No.
Think about it. Is that because they knew it was going to come, or they were just having a good time?
I don't know, but I can picture him taking the banana peels and pushing it into
and
the
we all
engine.
laughed.
Yes.
Now there's just one stop in between.
Yes.
So why are so many people excited about the electric trucks going to come out?
Yeah.
More so than the electric car. What is it about a lot of us that are just more excited about that?
I'm a garbage girl. So, garbage recycling, electric truck to pick that stuff up. It doesn't get any better than that. But there isn't the emissions as from, gasoline.
Yeah. So every once in a while, I'm still fascinated by these guys. They'll sit out front of my house and just watch me come, and they pick up the stuff.
Oh, I know.
And if I'm lucky, I see the guys with the trucks here, and they take put it
bulk.
It's just so neat. And I know there's just the kid part of me that it enjoys that. So when the electric vehicle comes out,
yes,
right, it's going to be open to the public.
Oh, well, it will. Yeah, it'll be picking up on a regular route. I don't know.
Right.
That's like super secret. I don't know which route it's going to be.
I could tell you, but I've been sworn to secrecy.
Oh, see, they wouldn't even trust me. So there you go.
We do know that there's a few trucks that are out there that are painted pink.
Oh, yes.
All right. And we have Breast Awareness Month coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And it's nice to see the county leading the way in so many things, because we follow it. Sometimes it takes us a long time to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And when I know that Arella Bagay was hired as the Biscayne Bay officer.
Right.
And they started taking boats out of the bay.
Oh, gosh. Did you see that? Oh, my goodness.
And one of the great things that happened, some people that filmed or got filmed throwing balloons into the water, they got arrested. Good.
They did.
Right?
They
and
did.
that's the message that has to be done. Right?
Yes.
Repeatedly. If you do that, all right, we're going to go after you and teach you a lesson, and other people that are watching.
Right.
In the old days, throw it in the ocean, doesn't matter, right?
I know. Yeah.
And so lots of changes that are going on there. So again, so things that for recycling, all right,
mm-hmm.
bottles, cans,
paper, cardboard.
All right. And I know there's another one or two in there.
Yeah.
All right. But if somebody just is trying to figure out how to get another can, listen, kids, from 8 to 80, this is our recycling. This is what you can put in there.
Right.
And you put it in there, and then when you go out to your house outside,
right,
you put that stuff into the blue one,
right,
and then the green one for the other stuff,
right.
And boxes right now, people have to be careful. We want to dry and squish down, not too tight though.
Right. Yeah, I know, because people get the box, and so part of the message has gotten through, which is really good. Put it inside the cart, so you get this box, then you're like cramming it in really good, so you can get everything in, and close the lid, because we're asking you to close the lid. Well, so now the truck goes to pick up the cart, and it squishes it in a little bit when it gets it, and so when it goes like that, nothing comes out. And then, yeah, right.
So they got a guy or a lady up there operating the joystick with cameras and mirrors watching everything.
Yeah.
I see occasionally, or frequently, I see the counties running ads for drivers. They have to have their
Yes.
commercial driver's license
Right.
as a starter.
Right.
All right. People can keep checking their Miami-Dade.gov, I suppose, jobs.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Good. Oh, yes. You are wonderful. Yes. That's all true.
I know. I'm just this walking encyclopedia. And whether my friends want to hear it or not, I'm telling them.
You keep doing it too.
Yeah, so, all right. So let's talk about those plastic bags you get from the drugstore. All right.
Or any store. Yeah.
Or any, yes. So you go in and you have your one item.
Right.
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 When they shake out the bag and they put it in.
Right. And it's a little item too.
Right. So what should people do with their plastic bags?
Okay. If you have a plastic bag, you can reuse your plastic bags. I mentioned this maybe before. I have 2 kitty cats, so I reuse every plastic bag in the house because I clean the kitty litter. So plastic bags are perfect for that. And then you put it in the garbage, of course. The plastic bags can be used. The small garbage cans like in your bathroom,
Yep.
they're the perfect size for that
Yep.
as a liner. You can reuse them there. Lots of reuse. Just don't put it in the recycling cart.
They can put it into the green can.
Yes. Yes.
And if we put it into the blue can, it gets tied up in the machine.
Oh, yes, because we remember when we did our tour of the MRF, yeah. So a lot of the equipment, it's either rollers where something's going along on the rollers, or there's something called a star screen that kind of looks like a star. And what's supposed to happen with that is cans and bottles and paper bumps along to kind of just separate it about. But the plastic bags just wrap right around it.
It turns into a pretty strong string.
Yes.
Because if you were to take it and tie it, go ahead, see if you can pull it apart.
Yeah. No. Do you know the people at the MRF, they have people that actually do this, have to get back. They turn off all the equipment, turn everything down, and they have to crawl up on that piece of equipment there and dig out the bags. They use blowtorches because at some point, and the bags are stronger than you think, especially when you get a bunch of them tied real tight. They use a blowtorch to disengage them.
So there's an acronym for not using as many plastic bags. What is that? Refuse.
Oh, yeah. Well, reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse.
All right. So the easiest thing for me is, listen, Mr. I don't need the bag.
Right.
All right.
And they go, what?
And I think that it's great because after a while, and I hope that the person standing next to me says the same thing, because at some point, if we start doing that more often, there'll be less bags.
That's true.
Period.
Yes.
All right. And I do want to tell you, I might have told you last time that I went grocery shopping with my wife.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yes, I know. It's one of the few times. All right. And
it's a couples thing.
Yes. Yeah. Get over here and push that thing, Michael. All right. And we walked in with the 4 carriers, and it was like had cardboard in it, so it had some body to it, so it's like bulging out,
right?
And it was perfect.
Wow.
And then the man gets to carry all 4.
All at the same. Yes. No, you can't do 2. You must carry all 4.
Ugh.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I know.
And if people haven't done that, they should try that, because it's a pretty good feeling to be able to do that, to participate on whatever level we can.
Right. Right. And one small step. That's all.
Yes.
You know.
And so, speaking of small steps, all the youngsters out there, all right?
Yes.
If their parents aren't teaching them, all right?
Yeah.
I hope they get it at school.
I hope so too. Yes.
And
yes.
so maybe the department can spend some time this year doing some of those, all right?
Yeah.
And it all matters, all right? Because when a child comes home, we don't have to take that bag, right? We know that people tend to litter. Throw stuff out of cars,
gosh,
right?
makes me insane.
That little plastic bag is perfect for that.
Right.
When I get around to it, I have the plastic bag in my glove compartment. Right. I drive a truck.
Yeah.
And during the week, I put it all in there.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, wow. And there's that use for it when I have it.
Yeah.
And I think that we know people still dump out on the streets. It's bad for the environment, and it's very, very costly.
It is.
And maybe you'll tell me where those hidden cameras are.
Yeah,
She's not going to tell me.
No, because really she doesn't even know.
Right. So there are hidden cameras.
Yes.
In high locations where people like to dump.
Right.
Right. And you have somebody that monitors those.
Oh yeah.
And so recently they caught somebody in the act.
Oh yeah.
They saw it happening. They sent a policeman and went and arrested the guy. down in Homestead area. People were dumping on the side of the road.
Oh, it's terrible. Yes.
And that went on to private property.
Oh, okay.
And the private property owner had to pay
to have it removed.
Yes, it's terrible.
Right? It's like, yeah, it's like a double. You're stealing doubly, because not only is have you dumped this stuff, but then someone else is paying for it who did nothing wrong.
Yes. So there was a case in which the county saw, code enforcement, the police saw a bunch of trash. This is a great story. And they went through it. They found a receipt
yes.
to a restaurant.
Yeah.
They went to the restaurant. Everything was time stamped. And they found the person's house. They must have paid for it with a credit card.
Oh, I love it.
They went to the house.
Okay.
And the lady said, "Yeah, I had these guys do it."
Oh, yeah, right.
So the police do their part, right?
Yeah.
And but we can all do our part just by not dumping the stuff out.
Right.
And I want you to know, I think of you frequently when I'm taking my stuff out, right? And the other day we had some stuff fell out of the truck.
Okay. Oh.
And I said, "You got to pick it up." Right? I said, just pick it up. Don't let it blow down the street, because somebody at some point is going to run over with the lawnmower, or it's going to go into the drains.
Right.
And let's talk about that.
Oh, the drains.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
So the Miami-Dade director, the director of the Miami-Dade Water Department, was our guest speaker a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It was one of the subjects that we didn't bring up.
Yeah.
Well, when people dump the stuff out on the street and it rains and it goes in the drains.
It goes down the storm drains, because Miami will flood. I mean, Miami-Dade County is low. I mean, we're not, and so when it rains, if we didn't have storm drains, you'd be walking in water all the time. So we have storm drains. So the water goes down the storm drain and brings with it whatever is on the ground. So masks, which makes me go crazy, and any kind of thing that you drop on the ground goes down the storm drain. And where do the storm drains empty out? Into the bay.
And we frequently see in pictures of streets flooded. That happens. And so often we see somebody go and then take all the stuff that's off the top, and all of a sudden it's draining. That was litter in somebody's yard.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's certainly something that we can do as consumers of our products. And I try to tell now, I get coffee every morning at McDonald's.
Okay.
I have to struggle to tell them, don't give me the receipt, because I haven't right.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to get it. It's going to go in my car. What am I going to do with this receipt for $6? Right?
A lot of places now, they're like training their cashiers to say, "Do you want a receipt?" And my husband always goes, "Oh, no receipt."
Right. So at some point that again will back up to the manufacturers of that. And we see when you pay by credit card, they ask you no receipt.
Right.
I'm thinking, I already have a receipt. I pay for it with a credit card.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
So
that's good.
All right. So tell us again about the MRF. Not like Murph to Surf.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
In the 60s.
Yes, I totally know that. That is so funny. Yeah. I was thinking that. No, totally different subject, different. Okay, so MRF is Materials Recovery Facility. So that's where the recyclable materials go to be separated so that they can be shipped out to companies that will then make new things out of them. So the cans pretty much all become new cans, as we said. The plastic bottles we were mentioning become new plastic bottles, but they could also become carpeting, carpet backing, that kind of stuff. The aluminum glass is used for a bunch of different things. It could become new glass bottles. It could become roadbed material made from sand initially anyway. Yes. So that's the glass. Paper is going to become new paper.
Right. And somebody could go on at miamidade.gov/recycling. Could they see the MRF in operation?
Yes.
You can go on a video tour.
And there's a really neat woman from Waste Management who actually does the talking and takes you through the whole plant. It's great.
She's wearing an orange hat and an orange vest. Yeah. So kids, if you want to have a good time, turn in there. Right. And it's miamidade.gov/recycling.
Yeah, go miamidade.gov/solid waste, and that'll take you. Go down to the bottom. That's all our videos. And if people
wonder what to do, they can look online, or if they need some specific instructions, talking with a live person, they can do it at
311. Yeah, real people.
Jeanmarie Massa, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Folks,
this was wonderful.
My pleasure, folks. Remember, don't litter, do the right thing, and have a great day.